Gunnm, what's up with you?
Oh, well, nothing much. Been really trying to pump out the content here, which I'm sure some of you guys have been noticing. If you guys follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/@Gunnm921, as well as on Twitch, twitch.tv/Gunnm21. Have to put in the plugs. Gotta put
Let
in the
them know.
plugs. So yeah, I've been definitely like stepping up the content here. So yeah, so that's been keeping me busy. Still playing Trails from Zero. So that's going on. Lots of that.
Hey, how I'll ask later, never mind. Continue.
I feel like I know what you're gonna ask. But let's see. I've really been kind of just focused on the content. Really, I'm trying to learn how to make thumbnails because I don't know how to do that at all. I'm trying to make like a really cool intro for my videos. So I'm trying to learn how to do that too. I want like a really, really cool one. So I'm trying to learn how to do shit like that. So there's that as well. But yeah, I've been playing a good bit of Overwatch 2, which is also content related. I know I promised some Overwatch content last week. It's coming. I'm still working on it. I have like a certain bar of quality that I want this like Overwatch video in particular to be. I might even do a Street Fighter one too, kind of the same way. Like you guys will see what I'm talking about.
Gunnm the perfectionist.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I kind of have like a certain bar of quality I kind of want these videos to come out at, and I will put something out next week for sure. By next week. So you can hold me to that. But other than that, just anime. I've been watching a lot of this one called Uncle from a Different World on Netflix. That's a funny ass anime, man. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, it sounds like
it's a comedy. It's funny as hell though. It's great.
I mean, we all got an uncle from a different world, so
it's true.
At least relatable.
So yeah, so I've been watching that. I've been rewatching Castlevania too.
I ain't seen that yet.
That is a good show. That's so good.
Okay.
So good. It's so good. I can't, man. But yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, as far as me, I'm turning into Farmer Dray again.
What's that?
Yeah, I mean, in multiple dimensions, but primarily, I've just been hit with that summer bug of trying to make sure my yard is like tidy and presentable. And I think what triggered it is that new puppy. Like, I got to make sure everything is puppy proof. You know what I mean? Make sure everything's set up. I got all this kids play stuff in the backyard, despite only having a 4-month-old. I got a bunch of stuff. Let's call them hand-me-downs. You know, so I've just now gotten all that stuff wiped off and set up, and things are coming along. I'm in the process of moving my shed, but yeah, I'm in the yard like 2 hours a day, and that's been kind of cathartic, I'd say.
No, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's good to get it done. I remember we were having that conversation about turning into our dads and how I think I'm the first one to suffer that affliction.
Yeah.
Like, because I catch myself just, the finger in the blinds, just looking outside at the yard, just looking at the work I did.
looking at it, and then looking out the front, I'm like, what are these kids doing?
Dude, look, no joke. There was one time I'm like, I need to go to therapy because I was staring out the window with my hands on my hips. I'm like, who dad am I? This was before I was a dad. Like, what is happening to me? But yeah, that's everything going on with me, man, for the most part. I'm still watching Naruto. I did want to tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that like 60, 70 something filler arc. Well, it's numerous arcs. But at the end of the original Naruto, dude,
Yes.
I got up to the bounty hunter arc. I forget the guy, Sasuke. I got to that and I skipped everything else and said, "Bro, I'm going straight to Shippuden. I can't do this anymore." I
Man,
was being so patient.
I skipped it at the beginning.
Dude, I was being so patient. I'm like, none of this matters. And I just skipped the Shippuden and I do not regret it, bro. So
I'm
expect
sure
some
you did it.
updates on that. Yeah, yeah. But
But yeah, I
let's
remember
get into
watching
what's
that.
coming. hmm
Yeah, I
And it's
remember.
technically my first time watching it straight through. So
Mm,
let's get into what's coming out this week. Remember, you got to guess the fake one.
okay.
So
Uh,
listen with intent.
all right, I'm locked in.
June 5th, City Driver and Tiny Thor. June 6th, Amnesia, The Bunker, Diablo 4, Loop 8, Summer of Gods. June 7th, we've got Quantar and 2D and Top D. On June 8th, we have Harmony, The Fall of Reverie, Mask of the Rose, Pro Cycling Manager, Speed Crew, and Tour de France 2023. June 9th, we got Grey Hill Incident and Kichiro, Fall of the King.
Mm. I have no
I
idea.
love this. I
I
love this
have
segment.
I have no idea. I mean, it could be the Diablo game because it sounds edgelord as fuck. But I'm gonna say,
You
but I'm
trash for
gonna
that.
say Quantor.
Quant. Sadly, no, it's Kichiro, Fall of the King.
God damn it, that was my second choice.
I am undefeated. I am undefeated. So you know which one I probably would have picked if I were you. I would have said Tiny Thor. Like, well, no, because it would have stuck out to me. But Tiny Thor seems real. It's just such a weird name.
Yeah,
That 2D and Top D though, that one, yeah, I would have picked that for
yeah.
sure.
Tiny Thor sounded like bait, so I didn't fall for it.
Yeah, 2D and Top D.
At
You
least
know
I was
what that
close this
is?
time.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the news, man. So we got a big holiday release for Nintendo.
Yes. Yep. So quite possibly. So not even quite possibly, more than likely. So recently there came to be a certain webpage that went out recently asking about whether or not I'm trying to remember. It's like a newsletter site, like asking like how much are you anticipating like this certain title once pre-orders go up, like basically implying basically people are taking it as like it's like pre-orders or the game is going to be releasing or is set to release very soon. So probably within this next half of this year, probably the holidays, obviously, because that would be a pretty good holiday title, Metroid Prime 4. So a lot of people are anticipating Metroid Prime 4 is going to be releasing uh, around November, maybe even October, kind of like Metroid Dread did. It's possible.
Mhm.
But honestly, it might be their holiday title, because honestly, what else do they have? I mean,
Truly.
they could have made 1-2 Everything their holiday title, but I wonder how good that would have done.
Everybody 1-2 step.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna step right off of that and ask you this question. Metroid Dread. Do you believe that that is gonna remain the best-selling Metroid game, or do you think Prime 4 is gonna overtake it?
I think Prime 4 is going to overtake it, and I think it's going to overtake it easily.
I like to think so. I like to think so. I'm in a weird spot. It's been so long because I was anticipating that game, but I really sat down and reflected, and I'm like, well, I loved Metroid Prime. I am obsessed with Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. But Metroid Prime 3, I was just like, you know?
Mm-hmm. Which is
So I don't,
understandable, yeah.
yeah, at this
Like,
point in time, I don't know how I feel about Prime 4.
yeah. Metroid Prime 3 was a really weird title because they were transitioning to those, those motion controls. So it was a bit of a
Right.
different title from most.
Do you think
But
they stay in that lane?
no, no. I think they're gonna go
No.
probably back to their roots and go more traditional. So
You don't think they have it as an option? Like a
they might have it
Joy-Con?
as an option. It's possible.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna definitely. I think they'll probably be flexible this title. I think.
Yeah.
I think that would be the safe route. Not only that, because performance has been a very, very huge thing with the Switch. Like it can't be denied now, especially with the how Bayonetta and the Pokemon games have been releasing. So
Yeah.
people are definitely a little bit on the skeptical side as far as like how a shooter is gonna run on the Switch. But considering how smooth Metroid Prime Remastered was running, because I think that was running at 60, like it runs fine. So as long as they're using like the same engine and it's like optimized correctly, like I think Metroid Prime 4 will run pretty well. I think it's definitely one that we shouldn't be worried too much about performance,
Mhm.
considering that it's Retro Studios that's behind it, and they tend to always get the most like out of the hardware of whatever game they're working on. So,
Well,
so I think this is
hopefully,
gonna go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, man, hopefully it distracts from what's been going on with Nintendo in the emulation space.
Oh god. Who knows?
I'm gonna let
Maybe
you
they threw out that little webpage to distract people. Who knows? But
hey,
I'm sure everybody's heard the story by now. Like Nintendo sent a DMCA takedown to Valve actually to basically cease and desist sale of Dolphin on there. Which first of all, Dolphin trying to get on Steam, that's pretty bold. That's really bold. The fact that they didn't think the Daddy Nintendo was gonna do something, they were out their fucking mind.
yeah, can't lie.
Like, not only that, they didn't really need to be on Steam storefront. It's just more eyes on it, which
Mhm.
I guess I get it. I don't know how, if at all, how Dolphin makes money. I don't know if it's like just like pledges from people like maybe on
Donations, maybe.
like donations or whatever.
Yeah.
But so maybe that was why they were trying to get more people to kind of donate towards it, to kind of support it. But I don't know why they went that route. So now they're in a really I mean, I don't know any other way to put it, like fucked up situation where they have these cryptographic keys that they use, and basically the courts have ruled that they fall under Nintendo copyright. They can't be used. So they have to find some other way to emulate the BIOS for basically the Wii and the Nintendo GameCube in order for these games to work. So they kind of screwed themselves by trying to, get on Steam. Who would have thought that was how things were gonna go? But here we are.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's two things that come to mind for me in the wake of this situation. One, how do you get this far and then you decide, you know what? So many people in this space have suffered at the hands of Nintendo. Let's just tempt fate. Let's land an extra level of magnetization to what we're doing. I don't understand why.
I don't know why they did this. Not only that, but the fact that Nintendo was able to do this, because this is a huge blow to emulation in general. The fact that Nintendo was able to do this means that it's possible for companies like Microsoft as well as Sony to be able to possibly issue DMCA takedowns on other emulators and possibly do the same. I mean, it's a gray area as far as like, emulating, because like use of the BIOS like technically falls under copyright of the company. But the emulation software, the ability to emulate, is not illegal. So it's a gray area. So it's really interesting to see what the future is going to be as far as emulation, but who knows, Dolphin might have just ruined emulation in general, like for the future. But we'll see.
I mean, my second point, dude, it's interesting when things like this happen because I'm seeing this deluge of people who are complaining about how like heavy-handed Nintendo is with this sort of stuff, which is to each his own. But can we decide if we like old games or not? Because on one hand, you got people saying, "Oh man, I don't play that stuff." But then the same people in many cases turn around and they're like, "I'm not gonna pay $500 for insert name of game here. I'm not gonna play $300 for Booger Man or whatever." And it's like, okay, so then what are we fighting for? I just don't get it.
Like, I mean, I do understand people emulating games, especially Switch games, considering how some of them perform. Because there are definitely people that play Pokemon games and run them on their computers and get way better performance on it than
I've never emulated a game I didn't own, though.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You never can tell if somebody bought it legally and just dumped the game, or they just downloaded it. I mean, Nintendo. I will say that Nintendo games are definitely pretty privy to piracy, so I could see why they get pretty pissed about emulation.
Yeah.
They always seem to be like the ones that are the ones that seem to get screwed over the most anyway when it comes to piracy between all three companies.
I will say they're leaving money on the table with a lot of this because a simple solution would just be to make some of these games easily accessible. Because I'm not really a huge emulation person.
Mm,
However, I can understand making the case that okay, I can't play Super Mario RPG. You know, like I can't
mm,
play that. It's hard for me to find that game. What other choice do I have if I don't want to spend like crazy amounts of money for a physical copy?
mm,
You know, I get that. You know, I really do. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it remains to be seen what ripples this is going to send for this particular segment of the industry. But that's not the only bad news or potential bad news we've gotten.
mm.
Apparently, Final Fantasy XVI is going to be a failure.
Apparently, I don't know. It seems like no one's interested in the game. No one's gonna buy it. No one's pre-ordered it. Square Enix is gonna go under. It's over. And there will be no more Final Fantasy games going forward. It's over, guys.
They shouldn't have went action RPG, bro. I
Yeah,
told you.
yep. They messed up by making Yoshi P the director. Yep,
Hmm.
yep. No one's interested. Yeah, my pre-order. I totally did not pre-order the game. Dray
Right.
totally didn't get the collector's edition. They're screwed.
Definitely not. I'm not going to do an unboxing video on the collector's edition. It's
Yeah,
just whack, you know? I'm just tired of Final Fantasy.
yeah, yeah. It's over, guys. Square Enix is
End
done.
scene. End scene. So apparently pre-orders are disappointing, according to Square Enix.
Yeah, we need to make a short of that.
Man,
But yeah, apparently according to them, pre-orders are pretty disappointing. Uh, don't know what kind of fucked up expectations they have for this game.
yeah, by what metric?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's just not a lot of people like pre-ordering that are interested. Like maybe just not a lot of people are pre-ordered, but there are definitely a lot of people interested in this game. But even if not a lot of people have pre-ordered it, you got to think about like the state of some of these games have come out even earlier this year. Jedi Survivor. What other game came out but oh yeah, Redfall. So
Kind of.
just kind of messed up. Just a little bit messed up. So games have not been coming out on day one, like running the way they should be. And then you have news of Final Fantasy XVI not having a day one patch. Like it might make some people a little bit suspect, just a little bit. Not to say that, the game isn't being optimized. I'm sure they learned their lesson from Final Fantasy 15. I really hope so. But
Do we have the numbers?
what? How many
Or just a
pre-orders?
statement from Square? Because
I
it's hard for me
I
to
know.
not think they're. Well, I feel like they're being a little extreme.
They are being extreme.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely interest there. The game's gonna do fine.
Mhm.
It's just that I think pre-orders across the board, like in the industry, especially since games are going $70, like people are very apprehensive about just pre-ordering now.
And at least half of gamers are all digital now, right?
Yeah,
At least last time I checked, something like
yeah,
that, right? If not over half.
yeah,
So it's almost like there's no point in pre-ordering anymore unless you're trying to get that premium package.
yeah,
Honestly, why pre-order?
yeah. That's
To make
true.
sure you get it on the same day? I mean, but that's only for people playing the game, playing a physical SKU of the game.
Yeah, which is true. Like you can get it instantly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like, especially with games going $70, I feel like people are just gonna move away from buying games early. Because what's the point? What's the point of spending your money early if you could just get it on release? Especially next generation, like next generation of games, when these consoles are for sure going to be all digital. What's the point of me pre-ordering it? I could just get it same day.
There is none at that point. I tend to pre-order just because I'm gonna get the game anyway and
Yeah.
formulate my own opinion, and why not have it delivered to my doorstep? But yeah, I mean, there's not a good reason to pre-order beyond that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, aside from giving, I don't know, somebody like Square Enix a metric to judge their game by prematurely. That
No,
game was gonna be
it's
that's gonna
gonna
be one
do
of the
fine.
biggest releases of this year. Like even in a year where we get Diablo, Starfield, Street Fighter, yada yada yada, Metroid Prime 4, that is going to be yet another reason to look back on 2023 as one of the great years in gaming.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best in a long while.
If we do get Metroid Prime 4, on top of everything else, man.
Zelda, how am I forgetting Tears of the Kingdom?
And then there's Zelda 2. Diablo
Yeah,
4. Oh,
man.
yeah, what a
Well,
time.
I mean, on that note, what are you playing right now?
Let's see. What am I playing right now? I am playing Trails from Zero. Uh,
You only
still
10 hours in. Huh?
less than that.
Oh
Still,
my god.
still trying to work through it. I've been playing a lot of you underestimate how much Overwatch I've been playing, trying to do this content for my channel. Like all I do is record whenever I get on
How
there.
long is Trails from Zero? Like 40, 50 hours?
It's like 40 hours.
Okay.
So I did look that up, but I should be able to finish that by the time Trails from Reverie comes out.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You know what happens when you say that. I'll finish it by the time.
Does not sound familiar because I do recall saying the same thing for Octopath, which I did attempt. I did attempt. I was
Right.
close.
You failed, bro.
Just didn't make it. But
Bro, these RPGs, dog. These RPGs. I've learned a long time ago you can't make a promise when it comes to those. you know,
I mean, I'm
even a
trying.
short one like that. Short one like that.
Yeah, I'm trying. But I'm trying. Let's see. Well, because I got my PS5 on right now. Uh yeah, that's mainly it, aside from one other game. But we'll get to that later. But
We will indeed.
what about you? Because that's the only
So,
other one.
you remember I told you of becoming a farmer, right?
Yeah. Oh god.
So, Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life
Oh
releases
man, I
later
knew
this
it.
month. Haven't played it. It's not out yet, but seeing as my sister and I are looking forward to that game to revisit our childhood,
Yeah.
I've been playing Story of Seasons: Pioneers of Olive Town. It's on, what is it, PlayStation Premium? What are they calling it?
Uh
Premium games list.
oh god.
It's one of the games available on at least the medium tier, if I'm not mistaken. Someone will correct me if I am. But I installed that
I'd have to look.
because I knew we had a crazy week of games ahead of us, and I'm like, let me just ease my way in before I get to that hardcore stuff later. Let me just chop some trees, milk some cows. You know what I mean? Cook some pigs. You don't really do that in the game, but I these are the type of games you could disappear into, man. I think it took a lot of cues from Stardew Valley, which honestly, Stardew Valley is the best Harvest Moon game ever, and it's not Harvest Moon.
I was
But
about to
it's
say,
just
you may
good to
as well
see.
be playing Stardew.
But look though, I can see a lot more room for competition in the wake of Stardew Valley because they're taking obvious cues from that game, even on a level of accessibility, quality of life features. The game, it feels good to play. It's relaxing. I mean, it's not going to win any Game of the Year awards, but that's not what it's trying to be either.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been messing around with that, but definitely put that on ice. That boy is in a glacier with the two games I'm about to mention. Diablo 4, I've barely played. I probably got an hour and a half in, if not 2 hours in. But I can already see I'm about to be spending a lot of time with this one. And I really, really hope I can have my feel of it before the last week of June. Because starting with that last week of June, bro, between Final Fantasy, Trails into Reverie, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
But Diablo 4 it's I mean, what can I say about it, man? It's like the best feeling Diablo I've played. I've played two a long time ago. Didn't play that much of it. Played a bit of three. But this one, it's more cinematic. It feels like it's more dynamic to me. Granted, I never beat Diablo 3, so I can't really make a judgment call on that entirely, but just that first sequence, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it was such a different way to start one of these games out that for once I'm actually intrigued in the narrative. I've never cared about the story. I'm the type who I'm like, hey y'all, let's get in the lobby and kill some demons. But I'm actually invested. So we'll see how that unfolds. And much like yourself, there is a little game that I've been kicking around here and there. You ever heard of Street Fighter 6? Anyone?
Just a little bit. I mean, I was just playing it before we started.
Yeah. Giving it a shot.
Yeah, just a
I'm gonna
little
let you
bit.
start out.
All right, so as definitely people that know me, like I have a little bit of history of fighting games. So so as far as Street Fighter is concerned anyway, uh I did play Street Fighter 4 for some months leading up to Street Fighter 5. And we all know how that game released, so definitely killed my interest for a long time.
Fell
Um,
off.
I, bro, I had that game pre-ordered. I've
Mm.
never this is the only time in my life I've ever done this. I've ever pre-ordered a game, got a game day one, and returned it the same day.
I know the story. Oh,
I returned it the same day. I was like, no.
well, what about the patience, man?
I was no.
You should have believed in the process. Look at it now.
It took years. It took years for that game to get good. And the only reason I even played it for 5 seconds before Street Fighter 6 came out was because it was on the PlayStation collection. So it's the only reason. but I will say, yes, Street Fighter 5 did improve with time. So now we get the sets. I'm getting railroaded by people online. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is the worst
Really?
it's ever. This is the worst I've ever been at a fighting game, especially on release. This is the worst. Like, I'm definitely am on the ground floor with everybody else, so I gotta just learn the game like everyone else. Like, it's different from 4. It's not the same game at all. Not at
No.
all. Like, this game is it's really fast. It's really fast. And like that drive.
Ironically, I feel like it's the slowest Street Fighter I've ever played. I do. And that's not to dispute what you're saying. It's just there's something about the way they lay out the drive rush mechanic and the fluidity of the animations. This feels more like responsive, not responsive. What am I looking for? It feels more weighted than any Street Fighter I've played. I might be crazy, but it actually sticks out to me how much better this feels to play to me than any Street Fighter yet. But
Like,
you were gonna say about the drive rush?
but yeah, like the drive system like makes like basically every decision you make pretty much matters. And like the corner in this game this is like the scariest I have ever seen the corner in any fighting game.
Dude,
like if you are in the corner, like you are getting fucked. You are getting fucked. If they have meter, you are screwed. Probably more than likely. This game is punishing. Like punishing in a like it's just more punishing than I'm used to. Maybe that's the thing that I'm just having a hard time grasping is like how punishing it is. Like I have never played a Street Fighter like this. And I played Street Fighter in arcades a little bit. Like,
well, the first 2 days, dude, I just see with a fighting game of this pedigree, I am never the one to say something is BS. I might say it in a moment like, that's annoying, right? But I understand there's a process. You have to establish the meta. You have to figure out how to deal with stuff. But those first 2 days, bro, drive rush. Is it drive rush or drive impact? Which is.
It depends upon which one you're talking about because they're both a thing.
So what's the hit?
Drive impact.
Impact. That's what it is. The drive impact, dude. The first 2 days, I was literally like, what do you do? I'm like, what is the point? Because if I do it, they're going to do it. And I got grabbed out of it so many times that I started to realize you just shouldn't do it unless you have the person in the corner or you know with 90% certainty is going to land. So you definitely have to keep your eyes out and watch out. Yeah, it's like you said, bro, very punishing. You get in that corner and it's like, okay, I immediately need to start thinking about how to get out of here. What moves do I have? What can I do to lend some evasiveness to my arsenal? You know?
Yeah.
Should I hold on to this meter so that I can jump out of the corner with this cannon spike? Man, I'm loving it though. I mean, competitive aside.
Oh yeah, like learning it is definitely fun. But I think the mistake I made, especially in the beginning, I was trying to learn a charge character, which, you know, if nobody has played Street Fighter before that's watching this, they're weird as fuck. Charge characters are weird as fuck. So I was trying to learn Chun-Li, and I'm like, man, I don't know. This is hard. I may as well just stick to what I know and just use Jury. But Jury isn't the same. But I still kind of can feel my way through it. So I'm playing a different character, and I think I'm getting better results now. So we'll see. We'll see going forward.
Main. You know what, Cammy main. Cammy all day. I got a pocket Marisa. Everyone knows how to use Ryu, so I can choose Ryu every now and then. But 90% of the time it's Cammy, 8% of the time it's Marisa, 2% of the time is Ryu. So,
oh god, like
yeah.
people. So there are definitely two characters that I think are just ridiculous and just dishonest as fuck. Is that JP nigga with the pimp cane and motherfucking Mana, this fucking ballerina dancing judo bitch. Fuck this bitch and her command grab. Like,
you feel strong.
Twirling me around and fucking slamming my ass. Fuck this bitch.
I mean, she looked good while she doing it, so.
Man, no, I don't
At least you
care.
got a complete L, I guess.
God damn. Like just dancing around the screen, controlling the screen. You can't jump over it. You can't do shit.
Let's talk about World Tour.
Oh god. Yeah, I haven't done much of it. Been doing more online, but World Tour is cool though.
Mm-hmm.
My character's cool. Everybody looks at my character is like, why your character so buff as fuck? Cause I wanted to look like a Street Fighter character, nigga. I want him to look like a cast character, like he could be a cast character.
My character is like a Cammy clone, basically. A male Cammy clone.
Mine is just a big buff black dude with dreads. With gold tipped dreads. Like I'm like, yeah, I love this. It's basic as fuck, but this is what I want.
All right. Yeah, that's what you wish you could grow in real life.
I mean, I can't say nothing to that.
Yeah.
It's what I wish I could.
And biblical dreads.
I waited too late in life to be like, man, I think I want some dreads. Now I can't do it.
Yeah, I've been trying to do a little bit of everything every day, bro. I'll sit down for a few hours, play it. I'll start with some online matches, do a few combo trials, do an extreme battle.
Oh yeah, I've been doing those too. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do everything in that game, and I know it's going to be a long process, but I'm like, I have my character, so now I'm just focusing on getting better one aspect at a time, like one fraction of one aspect at a time.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I never feel bad about losing. I
Yeah,
mean,
me either.
when someone does something annoying, I'm just like, that was annoying, but I'll just have to learn how to counter that. I'm enjoying the process, man. But I'm sure we'll have more to say about Street Fighter in the coming weeks. You had anything else you wanted to close with?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess in closing, all I'm gonna say is this. Manon is fake as fuck. Fuck all y'all that play her. That's it. But yeah.
Howard. I don't use it, so I don't have a stake in the game. I don't think I hate any character. Not yet.
No, maybe I should use her. She is broken. I don't know. Thinking about it.
JP is annoying, but I only found him annoying in arcade mode, story mode. Just because the way on the hardest difficulty, the way the CPU moves and can predict what you're doing. But we'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about it. Let's get to our topic of the week, which is ranking the Final Fantasy games. I'm going to preface this by saying, I'm going to preface this by saying Gunnm and I all together have not played more than half of the Final Fantasy games. And we're both on a journey right now trying to play as many of them as we can so that we can later revisit this and do a more, I'll say, rounded listing. But for right now, we're just going to go based off the games we have played, and we're going to list our individual top 5 picks. So I have mine at the ready. Do you have yours ready in order? Do you want to alternate?
All right, I have mine because mine is. I can start with mine because mine is funny as hell.
We'll do it this way. Just say 5, then come to me. I'll say 5, and we'll just go back and forth.
All right.
Yeah. So what's your number 5?
So. So my list is a little bit different. So
different.
It's a little bit different. So my number 5 is actually a -5 because this game. Oh God, I hate this game. You already know. Final Fantasy XIII is number 5.
Wait, so how many have you only played 5 games?
I played 6.
Okay. Jesus, what's below 5 then?
14.
Okay, well, all right.
You already know I hate MMOs, so 14 is below that.
Tell me more about why, out of the 6 games you've played, Final Fantasy XIII is number 5.
Let's see. So, I hate the battle system with all my heart. All my heart. So, this is a game that requires you that 100%, maybe I shouldn't say 100%, but a good portion of the time requires you to move your characters a certain way, but you cannot move your characters in the traditional sense. You have to use commands that you have to select. So instead of and there's not movement commands. No. You have to move them through untraditional means, like attack this enemy.
You would hate Final Fantasy XII.
I probably would.
Go on.
So, attack this enemy, and they move that way. And if they, so if it's some sort of fucked up situation, like some enemy, kind of gets in the way and moves them a certain way, and there's an AoE attack that hits that could kill a certain character, like in a certain boss fight when they cast death. That's it. There's nothing you can do. Not only that, it's a game where if the main character dies, that's it. I hate that. Oh God, the characters. Oh God, these characters are so terrible. They're all terrible. They're all written terrible. It's all of them are just terrible people. It's Jesus Christ, is there any redeeming quality in any of these characters? It's just so, I tried so hard for so long.
Hey, what about black dude with the chicken in his hair?
Fuck that guy. That guy is a bitch. Oh my God.
I know it's a chocobo, y'all. I know.
It's oh my God. It's the chocobo was the best character out of the 4. Jesus Christ.
Good Lord.
The main character is just so unlikable.
Hey.
She just has a stick up her ass half the game.
Hey, you made your point, bro. I've heard you harp on this game ad nauseum, so I understand. I just wanted anyone watching who doesn't know how you feel about that game to get a glimpse of it. So I get why it sits firmly in your number 5 slot.
-5.
Oh, well, a -5. I'm gonna let you cool down, and I'm gonna give you my number 5, which is Final Fantasy 15.
I think that's fair.
So, Final Fantasy 15, I feel could have been higher up my list if it ended up being what it promised it would be.
Mm-hmm.
But just, I don't know, man. Everything surrounding the release of that game, and the canceled DLC content. Like they released a lot for it. Don't get me wrong; it's a totally different game now. But they were supposed to do an episode Luna Freya, I think, and they never got around to that.
Yeah.
All that said, the chemistry between the core cast, you don't feel that a lot in these games. When you experience that, it's something, at least me personally, I really lock in on, which is why games like Persona 4 and 5 resonate with me so much, is to see that bond between these four characters. I mean, granted, they look like an early 2000s emo boy band, but you can tell that these guys are brothers. You know, they camp together. The car runs out of gas and they got to push it up the road. It's very unique within the realm of Final Fantasy. At least I believe so. I've never played a Final Fantasy where the characters felt so entwined with one another in that way. Maybe 10, kind of, a little, but yeah, that's part of why it sits where it does on my list. Also, I just enjoy the combat. It's simple, but it's flashy. I feel like up to that point, it was the coolest Final Fantasy has looked in combat. Not that it's the best combat system, but Noctis flipping around, switching between different weapons. It's pretty dope. Didn't much enjoy the magic system, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I mean, it was basically warp strike the game.
Exactly. Well, what I hated is beyond that, I'd say another thing keeping it from being higher up my list is most of the world building and most of the important stuff you learn from other sources. Like you have to watch movies and animes to get background information that should have just been readily available.
Yeah.
That Destiny syndrome, Like, why should I have to watch Kingsglaive just to understand what's going on?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool movie.
But I shouldn't have had to watch it, is my thing.
Yeah.
And some would argue you don't have to, but why would you not want to have every bit of information you could going into it?
True enough. I mean, my number 4 was the same. So
15?
Yeah.
Fire.
So we can just move on to number 3. So number 3.
You agree with all that?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
So number 3. A game that we've all played recently. Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Reunion.
Number 3.
Yes.
I guess you only played
I liked
6,
it. I liked it a lot.
More than 15?
Yes.
Wow.
I did. Because of the story and its implications on it. I was very, very, very engrossed in the story. More so than 15. At least the first time through.
Mm-hmm.
So I just really loved the story. I really did. Like, I was very invested to see. Oh God, spoilers. Spoiler alert for anyone watching. I'm like, this game's been out a while, so in its Final Fantasy month, like, come on. So I was very invested in Sephiroth's backstory. Mm-hmm. So to see like what happened at Nibelheim and what took place, and then why Cloud like has like this long running vendetta against Sephiroth, like it was insane to see. Like it was just insane to see, like just Sephiroth just change, and then see basically how Cloud got intertwined with him. Like I was very Like this is like honestly like since childhood, this has been something that I've been interested in and wanted to know and see since like Kingdom Hearts when I first saw Cloud in
Right.
fucking Kingdom Hearts 1. Like I'm like, what is this dude's problem with Sephiroth? Why does he hate Sephiroth so much? And I finally saw, and I'm like, wow, that's a bad dude.
And that's the
That's
reason
a
it's your number
bad
3, huh?
dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
Not only that, but Zach's story was really interesting to me.
It was. Zack as a
And
character
how
sucks, but his story is interesting.
and how like the Buster Blade like ended up getting passed on to
Yeah. I think Zack is so like
Zach.
okay. I
I
don't think he
really love
sucks.
Zach.
He's just
I love
no
Zach.
man. He's Sonic the Hedgehog in human form.
I love
Like he's
Zach
a
so much,
caricature of a
man.
person. Get out of here.
Oh, come on.
And the people who say they like Zack more than Cloud, shut up. You
What?
crazy.
Who likes Zach for the Cloud? Come
Oh,
on.
you'd be surprised, man.
What the hell?
It's a
That's
Cloud
crazy.
hate club on the internet, man. He's such an emo downer. There were so many
What
people.
do you mean? You
We'll
don't
get to it.
have
Look,
you seen his
we'll get
past?
to it.
That's
We'll get to
crazy.
it. But you did skip my number 4, so I got to give you my 4 and my
Oh,
3
okay,
back to
okay.
back.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
No, because you just yeah. But
Go
my
ahead.
number 4 is Final Fantasy 12.
That you never finish.
Oh, I'm at the end of it.
Oh, you are. Oh,
I
okay.
just didn't wrap it up. Like I played enough of it to know, because I'm on the final dungeon. But Final Fantasy 12, it gets a bad rap because of the combat mechanics. As we mentioned earlier,
Mm.
people don't really like that kind of queue system where you have to either set a script for the characters. I forget the name of it, but you either set a script for the characters to follow by default, depending on different contingencies within combat, or you have to highlight, attack this enemy. They draw a line toward that enemy, they head over, and then they attack them and wait for the next input. Like I don't think you like it based on how you feel about 13.
Mm.
But I got around it and I started to grow addicted to setting these battle plans. Because if there's one thing you need to know about me with RPGs, I love tactics. I love being meticulous about this character do this at this time. I love that.
Maybe you'd
Um,
like 13 more than me then. I don't know.
maybe from what I've seen, because I haven't played
I
13, but
think
I hate the
you'll
characters.
I think you'll have similar opinions on the characters though. They are insufferable.
Man. Well, the characters in 12 are great. They're great. I mean, some are a little more boring than others, but I don't think that there's a character in this cast that is particularly grating. I mean, some people don't like Fran's accent, but like, I like Fran. What's not to like about Fran?
Mm.
Balthier, he's great. He's like the Han Solo of this game, which I'm sure 1,000 people have said. Um, I just enjoy it, man. It's Final Fantasy under a different lens, combat wise. I don't. I think that was the main problem people had with it. Like the art style is a little samey. I mean, a lot of the characters just look like taller version of Vaughn with beard, but I mean that's an artistic choice. So
Yeah.
I'll firmly keep it in that spot, but I do plan on playing Final Fantasy 8 and 9 in the near future whenever I can. So, next time we come to this, I might have a different answer.
Hey, there's a there's possibly a 9 remake on the horizon, so
I saw that. So I don't want to wait though, because I don't want to taint the original. I want to play the original as intended, and then I'll play that. But number 3, Final Fantasy 10. Number 3.
Only number 3.
So I knew that was coming. Final Fantasy X. I love it. It is. It's. I'd say it's the quintessential RPG of the 2000s era.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Quintessential for everyone to play.
I'd say so. I enjoy pretty much everything about that game. I really don't have any real gripes with it. I mean, it's a bit archaic, but think when it came out, so you can't really hold that against it. I'll say if there's one thing that rubs me wrong about it, and not for the reasons people may think, it's the voice acting, man. And I know it's an old game, but it's hard to go back to it and not be disgusted.
It's voice acted at its earliest in games.
Dude, yes, but oh my god, what's that main villain's name? I don't even remember his name. It's been so long since I played it. The bad guy. He just be talking in his high-pitched voice like this. I'm like,
oh, Seymour?
This is really Seymour. I'm like, this is really who y'all chose to voice this man? Are y'all kidding me? Now, a lot of people take the laughter scene out of context, which I hate that that's what this game is known for. Because
I hate that too.
Yeah, the point was that it was a fake laugh. But this is how much I have to reach to tell you why this game is at number 3.
Because let's play it back in the day. They ate that shit up, man.
My God. I know, but this game, bro, is beautiful. The characters are enthralling. There's so much to do. That grid system is amazing. And the music, oh my God, man. It's the epitome of Final Fantasy. So you play this game, this will inform the metric by which you judge the entire rest of the series.
Okay.
I really do think so.
So, okay, since this is your number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I already talked about mine. Like, this is the next one up on my list, so I may as well continue. So, me and Dray already knows. Like, we've had many conversations about this game. Final Fantasy X. If I hadn't played the game that's at number 1, this game would be my number 1 easily.
I was about to walk out. Ugh. I was about to walk out.
Easily. Like, I'm sure most people can probably fancy a guess to what my number 1 is, but we'll get there. Final Fantasy X. That's a game that I feel like kind of redefined what is a JRPG? What truly is a JRPG to me? That game is an experience. It's an experience. And I feel like it's an experience if you truly like JRPGs, like you were almost obliged to play at least once. At least one time in your life. I never thought I would be as into the story, be as into the combat, as into the characters, as into the world as I did. Like, that game, that is a hard-hitting game. I haven't played 10. Nah. I haven't played 10 too. Only because it's like, how can you do better than this?
They didn't.
I mean, there's definitely some loose ends they left. I'll admit that, but it's like, it's okay as it is. It's okay as it is. That's why I never even touched it.
You say that, but if 10-2 was like 10 and better, But I
Man,
understand the trepidation.
but
But I agree with everything you're saying.
man, it's a game that sticks with you. It's definitely a game that sticks with you.
Mhm.
So it means a lot to me. So yeah.
I know it does. My number 2, Kingdom Hearts.
You,
My number
you,
2 Final Fantasy game
uh,
is Kingdom Hearts.
wait, hold on. How does that count?
I look, I knew you were gonna say that, right? Because I had other games that I could have wedged into this list, but I'm like, I want to judge Kingdom Hearts by what it's supposed to be. Because
Oh
theoretically,
man.
we could have put any numbered entry in here. We could have put any sequel in here. We could have put Dissidia, Crystal Chronicles, even,
Oh my god.
which I did think was really fun. But Kingdom Hearts
If we had a
was
Kingdom Hearts 2
built.
would be on my list.
Look, Kingdom Hearts should have it. What it was billed as was Final Fantasy meets Disney.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it started. That's not what it is now,
Yep.
but that's how it started. And I remember as a wee lad playing that game, seeing all these characters together. Like I knew who
Same.
Cloud was, I knew who Yuffie was, I knew who Aerith was, I knew who a few of these characters were, and there were many I didn't know. But just it made the world seem bigger than it ended up being. And the game was larger than life because I'm like, so you mean to tell me Cloud exists within the same timeline as Aladdin? It was magic. No pun intended of Disney and everything, but it was magical, dude. And granted, the further we went into the series, the more they strayed away from that part of it. There's something about seeing all of these characters together and them taking the elements of Final Fantasy, like the spells, Fyra, Fyraga,
Mm-hmm.
Kira, all of that, and putting it into that kind of action-based battle system. And I know it sounds like a reach, but it's like I feel like at least the original Kingdom Hearts needs to be they need to be given some grace. Let's give them a free pass into the ranking. I'd specifically say Kingdom Hearts 2 over Kingdom Hearts, but I just thought I'd throw it in there. Like, if Kingdom Hearts was titled Final Fantasy, it would easily be my number 2 pick.
Okay.
So throw stones at me if you want.
All right. If we were including Kingdom Hearts, 13 wouldn't be on my list at all, and 2 would be Kingdom Hearts 2 would be on
Right,
there.
right.
Oh God, would I put that over Final Fantasy X? Oh God,
What's your number 1? I
that'd be hard.
don't even want to entertain
I'd
the dark timeline.
I'd have to put it as a tie. I'd have two
Mm-hmm.
twos. I couldn't do it. No way. Uh, so number 1, because I'm probably I could probably guess that we have the same number 1. Theater Rhythm. I'm kidding.
Theater Rhythm.
I'm
Okay.
I'm kidding. Final Fantasy VII remake.
When did you realize? When did you come to the light, my friend?
I mean, it's just like it's just the best one. It just is. To me, it's just the best game they've ever released, Final Fantasy wise, at least to me so far. Final Fantasy 16's around the corner, so we'll see. But
We will.
the story, the characters, iconic, unforgettable.
Oh yeah. Can I
Like,
ask you a question?
What?
Do you think Crisis Core has inspired this shift in your list?
I mean,
Because it wasn't too long ago you still thought 10 was top.
I mean, yes, it did. Especially with Zach's story and learning how Cloud ended up with the Buster Blade and just kind of like having it passed down. Like, man, man. Put some respect on Zach's name, y'all. Put some respect on Zach's name. That is a
I
real
don't hate
nigga.
Zach.
It's a real
I don't
nigga.
hate him. I just feel like people overinflate his character. You know, he's so basic. He's like a shonen protagonist.
But
His arc was dope. His arc was dope. He wasn't. It's like how I feel about McBurn in the Trail series.
Man.
McBurn is like
Just always hate on McBurn.
he's interesting looking, but you know he doesn't do anything except fight.
You always hate on McBurn too. Even after 4, even learning his true form.
Who cares? What does he do with it?
Spoilers.
And whatever. But yeah, back to Final Fantasy.
But yeah. So 7. You have Barrett. Like this big ass buff dude with a machine gun arm with a heart of gold that really loves his daughter. Like really loves his daughter. You got Tifa. There's kung fu bitch that could kick your ass and just woo, makes you sweat too. Just
dude,
woo.
Tifa and Cammy are like
just
tier.
make you
Top, like the
woo, just, yeah.
Dab it off a little bit. Yeah.
And then you got Aerith, like just an absolute sweetheart. That's hilarious.
Final Fantasy VII Remake did her so much justice, bro.
Yeah,
they really fleshed her out.
She is such a great character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really like just the impeccable voice acting too. That just makes it just
it elevates it.
It really elevates it. Like they really do feel like real. They really do feel like real people. Like real people. Like from the just random conversations you would hear in Midgar. Like back when that game first came out, like that was really cool. Like to be able to hear the people of Midgar and just like hear all these little like mini conversations like people were having, like and how like the dialogue would change, like, you know, as the story progressed. Like it was really cool. Like it felt like a really fleshed out world. Like you are there. You are truly in Midgar. You are here. Just
before
like,
7 Remake, 7 was definitely my number one. It's just after Remake came out, I can't count it separately. Cause I'm like, it's not the whole game, but this is what Final Fantasy VII would have been. If it came out now, that's what it would have been.
mm-hmm.
You know, and I agree with everything you're saying, man. That game is just amazing in every dimension, which is why, as excited as I am for part 2, I am anxiously excited. I'm like, are y'all gonna make it open world? How would you even do that?
Yeah, I can understand that. It's like, how do you top this? But
right.
In the developer comments on Twitter, they have mentioned that it's going to be more open. They've been pretty vague about the combat, but they said like there's going to be new dimensions to it. So I don't know what the fuck they mean by that. but
Who knows?
maybe
I'm along for the ride.
maybe something similar to uh what they did with the team attack shit with the Yuffie DLC. I don't know.
Hmm.
Who knows? We'll see.
So we agree that 7 Remake is number 1.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Well, that leads into our side quest, which is going to be our communal list. Now, I'm going to save this list, right? This is going to change over time, or it won't. But Dap It Up's top 5 Final Fantasy games. We have to agree on this, so this could take us all day, or it could be fast.
Oh god.
All right. We know number
Are we
1.
including Kingdom Hearts?
You know, how about just to be as strict as possible, we don't?
Okay.
Because I was gonna say yes, but then that opens up a lot of possibilities. So, what would you say is number 2? And we'll see if I agree.
The number 2 game. So this is a top 5 list.
Yeah, this is our communal list we have to agree on.
I almost don't even want to bend on this, but Final Fantasy X.
10? I'll take that. If we're counting Final Fantasies, like explicitly Final Fantasy games, I'll say 10. Number 3.
Let's see. Number 3. Let's see. What was my number 3?
I'd say 12, honestly.
12?
But you haven't played it, so I very much do, man. But you know, again, I'd want to play more of those.
Don't want to just say Crisis Core?
For 3? Hell no. Ugh, dude, I love the story arc, like I said. But in hindsight, man, I don't even like that game. I don't like it.
Oh my god.
I think it's worth
no.
playing. It's worth playing to get the background on Sephiroth and Zack, but I don't like that game, man.
Oh my god.
Will I play it again? Probably, but I don't like it. That's a no.
I'll give you
a hard no.
I'll give you Final Fantasy 12 because I'm sure it's good.
Well,
it's just not for me. Probably.
I don't think it's fair though because you haven't played it, so we gotta go further down the list. Like,
all right, let's go.
We both played.
Okay, so we're talking about number 3.
Yeah, 15. Like this might 15. Just be okay. So, would you put 15 at 3 based on the shared experiences we have?
I guess. I think that's fair.
Okay. So 15. So here's what we'll do. Every other Final Fantasy that we have played is going to go down on this list in order. So what else have you played?
See, Crisis Core.
Crisis Core.
You really don't want Crisis Core on that list.
I don't hate it. No, it's gonna be on the list. It's just gonna be low. But you played 13. I've played 10 too.
Don't put 13 on that list.
What else we got? What else have we played?
14. Played a little 14.
Should we count 7 separate? Nah, let's not do that.
I'd rather put 14 over 13, please.
Oh, for real? 14.
It's if anyone here is watching this and likes 13, I swear it's not that I'm hating on the game. It's just that
you're hating on the game.
The game's bad. I'm sorry. I can't even be nice about it.
So okay, how about this? let's start with the ones you've played. Crisis Core over 14.
People are gonna hate me for that, but yes.
Crisis Core over 13.
Wait, you said 13? I thought you said 14. Okay. Yes, absolutely.
No, yeah, I did, but also over 13.
Crisis Core, yes.
Okay. I think Crisis Core over. Oh, this is hard actually, because 10-2 I thought had some redeemable features. I would not say Crisis Core over 12. I don't think I'd say Crisis Core over 10-2 either. So, are you willing to make a concession, or are you going to fight it?
I'm sure 10-2 is good. I won't fight that.
Okay.
I just haven't played it, nor will I.
Yeah, I'd say 12 over 10-2. But you haven't played either, so how about we just put 12 at 4? Got to make some concessions here. This list will be much more well-rounded when we do this again in like a year for Final Fantasy. What is it? Rebirth?
Rebirth.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be out in March or so next year. That's my prediction. I don't think they're gonna release that game this year.
I would say 10-2 over Crisis Core as well. Will you accept that? Is that fine?
No.
Having not played it. Crisis Core over 10-2?
Hold on.
Well, you haven't. I mean,
I haven't played it, but I'm sure 10-2 is good.
I think it's better than Crisis Core. I like the story of Crisis Core more.
So yeah, 10-2 over Crisis Core.
10-2 over Crisis Core. Crisis Core over 13 for sure.
Absolutely.
So 13 over 14 or 14 over 13?
14 over 13.
14, then 13. So, oh my God, people are going to see this list and be like, y'all need to do y'all homework.
Yeah,
but
they're going to be looking at me and they're going to say, you need therapy.
In ascending order, we've got 13, 14, Crisis Core, 10-2, 12, 15, 10, and Final Fantasy VII. Remake technically, but it's hard to count them separately. Maybe we'll do that next time.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we didn't have to fight that much for it.
Yeah.
We'll see where 16 fits in this toward the end of this month. And like you said, hopefully by March we can play a few more Final Fantasy games and flesh this out a bit. Like, I'll play some you've played that I haven't. You'll play some I've played. Maybe we could both play 8, 9.
Maybe I'll actually give 10-2 a try. I'll consider it.
It's redeemable. It has redeemable aspects to it. But yeah, that's a wrap. Congratulations on 20 episodes and the first in our Final Fantasy month series.
Yep.
Where can they find you?
Well, y'all know where to find me. YouTube.com/@Gunnm921. On Twitch, twitch.tv/Gunnm21. Tumblr, Gunnm.tumblr.com. Like I said, like I be saying, I always forget the last one, so it'll be in the description. But
that's like a running thing with you now.
I
Even
know.
when you remember it, you forget it.
It's 4 of them. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, Twitter. Now I remember it. I actually remembered this time. Twitter @Topics the Creator. There we go.
There you go.
It's always the Twitter. I think I forget.
You can find me on YouTube at Goals in Fitness, or Dray the Spectre on everything else. Instagram, TikTok, yada yada yada. But that was a Dap It Up podcast. And for once we agree on something.
Yep, and remember, Final Fantasy 13 sucks. All right, that's it. Later.